everybody tell you different. Ain't nothing wrong with being a little different. If everybody was the same, that'd be a little different. You gonna be good or gonna be great. You got
Hello and welcome to our first episode of Keepin It Real.
Hey.
Yes, it's too good, too groovy. How you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing today?
Thanks for asking. I figure I
That's
was
great. So I am Stoody Too Groovey. That's STOODYTOOGROOVEY. And what do? I do a lot. I research. I put together lectures. I'm a music producer, rapper. I'm writing some books, waiting for them to get published. And I got a lot of stuff brewing. So yeah, I'm out here. I'm out here.
it's the Renaissance man. Jack.
Yes.
Hey,
Trying to be.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so today, Sudi, we are going to allow you to share with us one of your stories, part of your testimony, or one of your testimonies. And I know you wanted to speak on self-esteem and self-love. For those of us that, don't understand that, what is your definition of self-love?
My definition of self-love is taking the time to know yourself from the darkest part of yourself to the lightest part of yourself and accepting those elements equally.
Mm,
I struggled in my life with acceptance of myself. Like a lot of my childhood was self, not like self-inflicting pain or anything like that, but just like self-doubt, self-hatred, self-uncertainty, thinking that I wasn't good enough or I shouldn't be as good as I feel like I was, or feel like I am to this day. And so I think that's why I wanted to talk about that today, because I know how it feels to tiptoe around your greatness so you don't offend anybody, or feel like, why am I good at this? I shouldn't be good at this. Let me boost somebody else instead of boosting myself. But then feeling sad and depressed because you don't get the same respect that you feel like you deserve. And I think that leads people, or at least it led me to want gratification that I just wasn't going to get because I wasn't displaying reasons why people should care about, care about what I'm doing. Even like sometimes like you try to, because you don't want to make yourself happy, you try to make everybody else happy. And then you have expectations of, okay, if this person did this for me, I would feel like this. So that means they should do that. And that's not true. And even I have to catch myself, even I'm 27 years old. So I still catch myself feeling like when people kind of disappoint me or they don't do what I thought they were going to do, I'm like, what's wrong? But then I have to remember, everybody doesn't think like I do, and they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. So,
Or you on purpose. So
yeah.
absolutely. So what would you say, what was it that took place in your life that made you realize that you had some work to do? Like a pivotal moment where you said, okay, this isn't healthy. What am I supposed to be doing right now? Because this ain't it. This doesn't even feel good to me.
I will say, and this might sound crazy, but 20, I'll say 2019.
Okay.
2019. It was that soon. Well, actually, the kind of towards the end of 2018, but I got out of a really long relationship, and my health was just terrible. Like I had sleep apnea, I was 400, pretty much 400 pounds. I was like very depressed, and I was just like, but one day I just woke up like, what am I doing? Like I literally like I wanted I'll just be being transparent. I wanted to die. Like I would honestly all day every day just think like I don't want to be here no more. Why can't I just die? And it's like the universe was answering the call because I was dying. Like I was like from the health, from the depression, from the eating, the overeating, the eating the pain away, all that stuff. I was like dying. And then one day I just woke up and I'm just like, nah, I'm somebody important. So I took that energy that I would always praise other people with to make them feel good. And I started utilizing that for myself. And I started exercising. I stopped eating meat. I got into spiritual sciences and what am I trying to say? I started studying. I started like expanding my consciousness even more than I was before. I just got into myself.
Okay.
I started loving myself and stopped. It was scary at first, but I started speaking more. I started being more outspoken. I started actually going places. I started saying my opinions, and that I guess, yeah,
So I'm one of those people that I believe that, everything happens for a reason and nothing happens by chance. And things that happen to us are either blessings or lessons. So
right,
just listening to you, I feel like that breakup was a blessing. And I
right,
it was a blessing because you had to let that part of your life go
hmm
so that you can grow and really, I guess, seek more knowledge and focus more on the self love as opposed to loving somebody else.
exactly.
Okay, so Stefan, real quick, because I feel like a lot of times when people are talking about their growth and the things that they've had to overcome, they fail to mention the role that God plays in that.
Right.
For me, I would like to know, with everything that you were struggling with, did you pray and ask for guidance and, ask God to bless you to, figure out what direction you're supposed to be going in, or how did you know? Because, as you stated in the beginning, you like the jack of all trades. Like, how did you know that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, was this something that happened or?
Okay. I'm going to try to like, because I know you don't want it to be like an hour long discussion, but okay, the role that God played in all this, the Creator played in all this, was a big one because as I felt like I was dying, I was having a lot of spiritual occurrences, good and bad.
Okay.
I was having like literally, I'm not gonna say sensation because I know it was real. At night, my soul would literally be leaving my body.
Mm.
Like I literally like would stop breathing at night, and
Oh,
I could feel my soul leaving. I used to have like death, like the black hooded figure that they always talking about. Literally, the darkest black looking at me as I was sleeping. Um, and like, when I started studying spiritual sciences and learning like spiritual concepts with scientific studies and all that, I learned a lot about how the universe works and what everybody perceives God to be and how real he or she actually is. And I would meditate a lot.
mm.
I would ask the angels and the ancestors and God to guide me and get these like the bad voices out of my head and show me the way, and am I doing this right, and everything like that. Like,
Okay, so those bad voices, I call it my negative chatter because
mm-hmm.
when I say they are around daily, and sometimes those voices be telling you to do all type of jacked up stuff.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
listened to Les Brown, and he was saying that when you hear those voices, you have to talk to them, acknowledge them, and tell them to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that from time to time, and so sometimes people may think that I'm talking to myself, but I laugh because it's like I am. I'm talking to myself because that negative chatter, that voice sounds just like my voice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's created to make sure that we remain stagnant and in that basically in that sunken place.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is for, people your age or even anybody that may be experiencing issues with self-esteem and self-love. Um, what would you feel like is the first step to correcting that? Or, well, I know the first step is acknowledgement, but after you acknowledge,
Yeah.
what would you say the first step is?
Hmm. The first step in self-love is the hardest step, and that is clearing your space of all negative energy.
Mm,
And I say that that is the hardest step because we get used to those who make us feel bad.
mm,
We kind of like feel like we deserve it, so so we cling on to it. And then like if you have low self-esteem and if you have depression, you have to admit to yourself that that is a comfortable place for you.
mm,
And without that negative stimuli, you may not know what to do with yourself. Because then if you feel happy, you're like, is this fake? Or I don't want to get used to being happy because if it gets taken away, then I'll feel even worse.
mm.
So you have to, that is the first and the hardest step. And then you have to change your habits and change the way that you perceive yourself.
Mm. Okay.
Like, because nobody is going to look at you the way you want to be looked at if you don't even believe it yourself.
Mm.
You know?
So I think, yeah, that you definitely have to be intentional. And
Yes.
it's not something that happens overnight. It's gradual, but it happens,
Hmm.
It's doable.
And I want to say this too: when you interact with people,
Hmm.
they sometimes tell you either things that they don't like about you or things that they think are flaws for you,
Mm.
and but you have to know whether that's really a flaw to you or not.
Mm.
Like you have to know, like, okay, is it like okay? I'll put it this way. Let's take weight for example.
Okay.
Do you want to lose weight because you want to be healthier or you don't like the way you look, or do you want to lose weight because everybody keeps saying that you're fat or that you feel like you're not you feel unattractive, and that's the reason why you think people don't want you or people don't respect you. Like, what is it? Is it something that you want to do for yourself, or is it something that you think that you have to do to be accepted? And
No,
both could be true,
right.
but what's more important, your perception? Because you might honestly, and I'm just using fat or overweight because that's the issue that I dealt with my whole life.
Okay.
If you like being big, then accept that and stop making it a problem that's not a problem. You know?
Absolutely.
But you can use you can use that for anything.
Look,
Even like let's say for huh?
now, like all this time I've been going to the gym, I don't think I'm fat.
Yeah. I mean, because look, maintaining good health is always good.
Right.
But what are you doing it for?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Like even let's take losing weight. Let's take somebody going to college. because I messed up. I didn't when I went to college. I really didn't want to. I wanted to work and get like build my foundation, then go to college. But I didn't listen to my inner voice. I didn't listen to my intuition because everybody else was telling me, no, you need to do it now or you're not going to do it. So even with that, what are you doing? Like, what are you living your life for? Are you living your life to satisfy people who's already living their life, or are you doing things that you want to do? Because if you're not satisfying yourself, you're going to stay in that cycle of depression. Like, you're never going to feel like yourself because you're not being yourself.
Mm. You know what? My whole purpose for doing this is to be able to help others, but I promise you, you are helping me right now and giving me all type of life. I'm like, oh man,
Thank you.
I don't know the hell that I'm going through. He is, hitting the pin right on there. Like, wow, okay, I can dig that. I definitely can dig that. Um, okay, so real quick, you've talked about, you've given different examples but was there anything that you wanted to share? Like, for instance, with me, I had to be open, honest, and transparent, and title my book "The Diary of the Ugly Black Girl." And that was me really having to step out and terrified because that was a secret that nobody knew.
Mm-hmm.
And when it became public, it's like people couldn't understand it either. But I
Right.
say that once I acknowledged that it was an issue, I promise you I did not have that issue. I had so many people saying to me, "Oh my God, like why would you think that you were ugly?" And or like they felt like I was just trying to get attention. And it was like, no, that's
Mm-hmm.
not true. This is something that I struggle with privately that,
Right.
it's not for everybody to understand, but those that do, hey, it's something that you can relate to. So, is there anything that you experienced or that you may have felt that nobody knows about, or that you're going through that nobody? And this is not like trying to get deep into your business. This is just
I'm not.
about self-esteem and self-love, because that's your topic. But
Okay. No, this is like this is real scary for me to talk about this, but I'm going to because I feel like it needs to be said, it needs to be off my shoulders, and it needs to be put out. I don't know if you know,
Mhm.
but when I was like a kid, maybe around 3, 4, 5, around that area, one of my grandmother on my other side, one of her boyfriends was caught in the tub with me,
Mm.
naked,
Oh, wow.
and I have memories of what he did to me.
Wow.
So growing up, sexuality was a really hard thing for me.
Okay.
Like I even to this day, some certain looks I feel like looks feminine,
Hmm.
and I personally don't like it, and I don't really feel comfortable around males because I'm always thinking I hope I'm not coming off as gay. Not that I have a personal problem with homosexuality, but like I just have a I have like I've had I guess I've just had bad experiences. Like one of my best friends growing up, she was a gay girl. I accepted her. I hung out with her
Hmm.
damn near every day. Like we used to spend summers together. But she would always put me in compromising situations where I was uncomfortable. And
Okay.
I always felt like I should be able to have that boundary for myself and know what I'm comfortable with. Like just because I'm comfortable hanging with you or doing certain things with you, that doesn't mean I want to be in the back seat with 3 gay guys and he's like trying to rub his
Right.
hand on my thigh and I can't go nowhere because
Mm.
I'm in the back seat. Like things like that.
Okay.
So I've always struggled with that. Like at one point I thought like maybe I was gay
Hmm.
and I thought about like maybe trying something. I don't know,
Mhm.
but this was like when I was a teenager. I never like kissed a guy, held a guy's hand, nothing like that, nothing like that at all. But I always struggled with that, and to this day, I'm still uncomfortable with that aspect of myself. Like, uh, yeah,
Well, I can honestly say that I have never saw anything but masculinity when it comes to you. Okay, just so you know,
yeah,
I've never gotten that vibe from you at all, you know. But like you said, if I did, it wouldn't be a problem. But I just,
right,
and I definitely appreciate you sharing that and being open and honest because it may be someone out there that experienced something like that and
hmm
don't feel like it's okay to say, okay, hey, this happened, you know. And it's ironic that you are sharing this because, you know, typically when you hear about things like that that happen to people, a lot of times it is to little girls. Um, and
right,
so to me, it just kind of helps bring awareness that it does happen to little boys as well. Um,
yeah,
but you can overcome it clearly. Look at you now.
oh yeah.
It's Stoody Too.
Nah, nah, for real though. And also I bring that up. I bring that up because your past does not define you, in the things that people have done to you, or even the things that you might have done to other people. That don't define you. Like, what are you today?
Right.
Who is the person you are today? That's what matters. Like,
Absolutely. Yes, and being able to let go of that because you're right, your past does not define you. Um, and it's okay to go back and acknowledge some things in your past, but
hmm
don't stay there because sometimes you have to go back and acknowledge them so you can figure out what's wrong. You know, like for me,
yeah,
there's something wrong. I know that something's off, but how do I, you know, pinpoint what the issue is? And for me, I had to take it back to, you know, I guess my most hurtful memory, you know, because we hold on to the stuff that hurt us
yeah,
or that's life altering. And for me, it was like, okay, yeah, I had to deal with molestation. And around that time, too, I had to deal with, you know, being in a car accident and almost dying. And these were traumatic for me. But I have to go back here and grab that little girl and say, come on, because
hmm
it's time to let that go. Like in my book, I say, I'm telling this story for the last time because it's no longer a part of me. It's not a part of my journey. It's nothing. I'm never going to repeat this story again because it's time to create new memories, new stories. You know, it's like I am almost like emptying out all the toxic stuff,
hmm
memories, and replacing them with better ones, you know, and focusing more on my future as opposed to my past because I can't see what's ahead of me if I'm constantly looking over my shoulder, you know, and even placing blame. Like one of the things that I'm still dealing with today is, you know, people that hurt you, you know, that made you, you know, feel low about yourself or whatever, you're going to have to forgive them, even if they don't
yeah,
apologize, even if they don't feel like they did anything wrong.
yeah.
That's hard.
That's hard. Yeah, that's very hard.
Man, I'm pissed off right now at somebody. They know I'm pissed. They
yeah,
won't apologize, and I got to eat that and just say, okay.
yeah. Because you like, one thing I struggle with as well is like, if why don't people say, if somebody did this to me, I would want an apology, or I would feel this way. So let me at least just acknowledge that part. Like, I don't understand why people don't have that thought process, that like you gotta kind of have some empathy,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yes.
Like, even if you didn't mean, or even if you feel like you were justified, at least have some sort of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't just be like, oh, well, that's just what it is. I don't care. Because you burn bridges that you may never be able to rebuild. And that person may just go shoot to the stars, and you're going to be sitting looking up hating now.
Mm-hmm.
or it's being one of those, oh, I used to know them
Right.
type people.
Mm-hmm. You just, yes, you,
You know?
right. Yes. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Well, Stephan, I thank you. I really do for
Yeah.
taking time out to chop it up with me, to keep it real with me. You
For
know,
sure, for sure.
keep it real. Oh my goodness.
I need everybody to share this as far and wide as y'all can. Once again, I am Stoody Too Groovey. I am the host of Who Asked You podcast on YouTube. Check that out. It's a lot of information. We talk about history, current events, sciences, religion, black topics, all types of things. Big lectures. It's long form lectures. Check it out. It's great content. You'll learn something each and every episode. I promise you. We're 4 seasons in, and we still going hard. So check that out.
Absolutely. And it is definitely an awesome platform. I have logged on a couple of times and learned some things where it was like, I feel stupid because I think I'm supposed to know this. And I know I'm older than both of them. They really spit knowledge, and I feel dumb as
Oh yeah, shout out Kiki Akhenaten too, aka Kim Vogue. That's my co-host.
yes,
She's great. She's an amazing person. So
yes, she is, and you both keep up the good work. It's
thank you.
needed in our community. Continue educating the ones, everybody. I don't even say
Yeah.
everybody, because the stuff that the topics that you be hitting on,
Hmm.
it's like, and I love the fact that you have. I mean, it's facts. Like you are doing your research. It's like
Yeah.
this man know what he's talking
Cause
about.
look, I'll be researching my research. like like the other day, like okay, we just did an episode on tech, pretty much technology,
Mhm.
right? I literally stayed up for 2 days straight doing the research. And like when I did it, I was like, it's funny because at one point I was like, during one of the videos, I was kind of like dozing off a little bit. And my homie texted me like, bro, wake up. Because I just feel like information is out there. So it needs to be like, there's some things out there that we don't even, just in our daily lives, are just 24 hours we don't even stop to think about. So it's like when I find it, I gotta put it out there, and and I always feel like I don't really care if one or two people only watch. I taught somebody something, you
Mhm.
know. So
Exactly. Even though I see those subscriber numbers keep climbing,
you
but
hear me? Yeah, keep subscribing for sure. But
I know that a lot of people, I've even had actually one of my publishers went and checked it out. So,
nice, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty dope. I was like, yeah, Stevie, that's my cousin.
Yeah, we got our family dope. I'll just say I'll put it that way. Our family dope. We so talented.
Family full of
Like,
talent. So,
yes.
keep up the good work again. Thank you for sharing. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, no problem. And anytime you want me to come up on your season 2 or whatever, just let me know. This was healing for me. And even though I was having a conversation with you, I feel like I was talking to myself as well and reminding myself.
Man,
So thank you for that.
thank you. Thank you.